Welcome to Great Lives. I'm Daniel. Here, we honor individuals whose journeys shaped history and inspired millions. Their courage, talent, and dedication left a lasting mark across generations. Join us as we revisit their stories from film, music, sports, and culture, celebrating lives that continue to inspire and remain unforgettable through time. Emerging from the vibrant creative wave of 1960s London, Memoriam was born on December 29, 1946. She soon became a distinctive voice of her generation, not because of polished perfection, but because of something far more compelling: honesty. Her voice carried a raw, textured quality that felt deeply human, as if every note held a piece of lived emotion. That authenticity became the foundation of her artistic identity and set her apart in a rapidly evolving music scene. Her first major breakthrough came with the hauntingly gentle As Tears Go By, which brought her into the spotlight and introduced her to a wide audience. Yet behind the early success was a life shaped by both recognition and difficulty. Fame arrived quickly, bringing admiration but also intense public attention, and her journey unfolded through a mix of personal highs and challenges that tested her resilience in quiet and profound ways. In the late 1970s, she returned with Broken English, an album that redefined her completely. Her voice, now rougher and weathered by experience, carried a new emotional depth. It no longer just sang of love, but of survival, reflection, and truth. That transformation not only revived her career but also earned her deep respect and a new generation of listeners who connected with her honesty. She also explored acting, adding further layers to her creative life, but it was always her unmistakable voice that left the strongest impression. Memoriam's journey reflected resilience, reinvention, and artistic truth. Her passing at the age of 78 marked the end of a remarkable life, but her influence continues to live on, reminding the world that true art is born from experience, change, and the courage to remain authentic through every stage of life. Lillian Bootey was born on August 6, 1949, and grew up in the culturally rich environment of New Orleans, a city known for its deep musical traditions. Surrounded by jazz rhythms and gospel influences from an early age, she developed a natural connection to music. This upbringing played a key role in shaping her artistic identity, allowing her to blend soulful expression with classic sounds in a way that felt both authentic and timeless. As her career progressed, she became known for her emotionally expressive voice and her ability to connect deeply with listeners. Her performances of songs such as Let Them Talk demonstrated not only vocal strength but also a remarkable sense of feeling and storytelling. Whether performing in small, intimate settings or on larger stages, she brought a personal warmth that made audiences feel directly engaged with her music. She also toured with One More Time, helping to share the distinctive sound of New Orleans with wider audiences. In 1986, she was honored as the New Orleans Musical Ambassador, a recognition of her contribution to the preservation and promotion of the city's musical heritage. Known for her humility and kindness, she remained closely connected to her community throughout her life and inspired many younger musicians to find their own path. She passed away at the age of 75, leaving behind a lasting legacy that continues to live on through jazz and gospel music. Jeannie Selly, born on July 6, 1940, was a country music artist who built her career on sincerity and a deep love for traditional sounds. She never tried to follow passing trends, instead choosing to stay connected to the simple, emotional storytelling that defines classic country music. Her songs often carried themes of everyday life: love, loss, hope, and reflection, delivered in a way that felt honest and easy to relate to. Over the years, she became a familiar presence at the Grand Ole Opry, one of the most respected stages in country music. Her performances were known for their warmth and authenticity, often making audiences feel as if she was sharing personal stories rather than just performing songs. That natural connection with listeners helped her stand out in a crowded industry. Jeannie's dedication to staying true to her roots earned her respect from both fans and fellow musicians. While the music world around her continued to change, she remained committed to the classic country style that first inspired her. This consistency gave her work a timeless quality that still resonates today. She passed away at the age of 85, bringing an end to a long and meaningful life in music. However, her legacy continues through the songs she left behind and the impact she made on those who heard her sing. Her voice remains a reminder of the emotional honesty and tradition at the heart of country music. Francisco San Martin was born on August 27, 1985 in Mallorca, Spain, and grew up between Spain and the United States, spending parts of his early life in Madrid and Montana. This multicultural upbringing shaped his outlook and gave him a strong sense of adaptability and identity from a young age. He gradually built his career in television, earning recognition for his natural screen presence and steady dedication. In 2011, he gained wider attention for his role as Dario Hernandez on Days of Our Lives. He later appeared in popular shows such as The Bold and the Beautiful and Jane the Virgin, where he demonstrated versatility across both dramatic and lighter storytelling. On set, he was often described as calm, focused, and committed to his work. He approached each role with sincerity, aiming to bring authenticity and emotional depth to every performance, regardless of screen time. This professionalism helped him leave a positive impression on those he worked with. His career, though not extensive, reflected genuine passion for acting and storytelling. Francisco San Martin is remembered for his talent, warmth, and the quiet strength he brought to his roles, leaving behind performances that continue to be appreciated by audiences. Donald Regal was a long-serving American lawmaker whose life was closely connected to his hometown of Flint, Michigan. Growing up there, he developed a strong sense of community and responsibility that later guided his path into public service. His political journey began in the 1960s and marked the start of a career that would span several decades in national leadership. He went on to serve in the U.S. Congress for nearly 30 years, working under multiple presidential administrations. Over the course of his career, he shifted from the Republican Party to the Democratic Party, reflecting changes in his political views and approach. Throughout his time in office, he was recognized for his steady work in shaping legislation and addressing national concerns. Regal often focused on issues that mattered to working families, veterans, and broader policy reform. Colleagues and community members described him as someone who stayed connected to everyday people and remained attentive to the needs of his constituents, especially those in Flint. He passed away at the age of 92 following cardiac arrest at his home in San Diego. His passing was met with respect and tributes, including flags flown at half-staff in Genesee County. He is remembered for his decades of public service and his lasting contribution to American political history. At the height of 1980s Hollywood, Michael J. Fox seemed to exist in perpetual motion, a performer whose energy matched the decade's obsession with speed, ambition, and reinvention. To audiences, he was the irreverent teenager from Back to the Future, a cultural symbol of charm and optimism, wrapped in a leather jacket and sneakers. Off-screen, he was a working actor navigating an industry that rewarded endurance as much as talent. Yet beneath the momentum of fame, something far more complicated was unfolding. His story was never just about celebrity success. It became a long confrontation between identity and physical decline, between how the world saw him and what was happening inside his body. What makes his journey compelling is not only the rise to stardom, but the quiet, invisible shift that began while everything still appeared perfect. The contrast between outward triumph and private uncertainty would later define his entire life, transforming him from Hollywood's golden boy into one of the most influential voices in medical advocacy. Childhood in Canada and the making of a performer, Michael J. Fox was born in Edmonton, Alberta, and raised in a military family that moved frequently across Canada. His upbringing in Burnaby, British Columbia, was marked by constant change, modest means, and a household shaped by discipline and resilience. His father's career in the military and later public service instilled structure, while his mother brought humor and emotional warmth. As a child, Fox was not especially tall or physically imposing, and he often stood out for reasons that made traditional achievement difficult in school environments. Yet he found early refuge in performance. Acting became the one place where physical limitations disappeared and personality took over. By his teenage years, he had already discovered that stepping onto a stage gave him a sense of control and confidence that everyday life did not. At 15, he enrolled in drama classes and quickly realized that performance was not just an interest but a calling. By 16, he was already acting professionally in Canadian television. These early experiences shaped not only his skill but his identity, teaching him that transformation and persistence could override expectation, even when circumstances seemed unpromising. Leaving home and chasing an impossible dream, at 18, Michael J. Fox made a decision that would define the rest of his life. He left Canada for Los Angeles, with little money, no established connections, and no guarantee of success. The move was not simply geographical but symbolic, a leap into an industry that routinely rejected unknown actors. He arrived in Hollywood with ambition far larger than his resources, living in small apartments and taking whatever work he could find while attending endless auditions. Rejection became a daily reality, often tied not to his ability but to his physical stature, which casting directors sometimes saw as a limitation. Despite this, he refused to abandon the pursuit. The early years were marked by uncertainty, financial strain, and emotional doubt. Yet they also built the resilience that would later define him. Every audition, even the unsuccessful ones, reinforced his belief that persistence mattered more than immediate results. This period was not glamorous, it was survival driven by conviction. Looking back, it becomes clear that the discipline required to endure those early setbacks prepared him for the far more complex challenges that would arrive later in his life, long after fame had been achieved. Breakthrough with television and arrival of fame. The turning point came with Family Ties, where Michael J. Fox was cast as Alex P. Keaton, a character that quickly became central to the show's success. What began as a supporting role evolved into a defining presence, as audiences responded strongly to his comedic timing, emotional depth, and effortless charisma. The character embodied a cultural moment, reflecting the political and social contrasts of the 1980s, while Fox's performance elevated the material beyond its original scope. Within a short time, he became one of television's most recognizable figures, earning awards and widespread attention. Fame, however, did not slow his ambition. Even while working on a demanding television schedule, he pursued film roles, leading to his casting in Back to the Future. The combination of television success and cinematic breakthrough created a rare level of visibility. Suddenly, he was not just a popular actor but a global icon. Yet the pace of his career also introduced extreme physical demands, requiring long hours, rapid transitions between projects, and minimal rest. This relentless schedule, celebrated at the time as dedication, would later be understood as the environment in which early signs of illness first emerged unnoticed. The cultural impact of a cinematic icon Back to the Future transformed Michael J. Fox from a television star into a global phenomenon. The film's success was immediate and overwhelming, resonating across generations and establishing Marty McFly as one of cinema's most enduring characters. Fox's performance balanced humor, vulnerability, and youthful energy in a way that made the role universally appealing. The film's popularity extended far beyond box office success. It became embedded in cultural memory, influencing fashion, language, and storytelling for decades. For Fox, however, the experience was physically exhausting. He was simultaneously filming television during the day and working on the movie at night, often sleeping only a few hours between shoots. This intense workload became normalized in his life, reinforcing the belief that endurance was simply part of success. At the time, no one involved suspected that this period of extreme strain coincided with the earliest physical changes in his body. The demands of fame masked the signals his nervous system was beginning to send. In hindsight, this moment represents a peak in visibility and energy that contrasts sharply with what would follow, making it one of the most significant turning points in his personal timeline. The first signs of something unseen. The earliest indication that something was wrong appeared in 1990 during filming in Florida. A small, involuntary tremor in his finger seemed insignificant at first, easily dismissed as fatigue or overwork. Yet the symptom persisted, gradually becoming more noticeable over time. Subtle stiffness began affecting his movements, and tasks that once felt automatic required more concentration. Because his life was already physically demanding, it was easy to rationalize these changes as the result of exhaustion. However, the persistence of the symptoms created unease. Unlike injuries or temporary strain, This was unpredictable and unresponsive to rest. As the months passed, the symptoms expanded beyond a single finger, affecting coordination and control. Despite these changes, he continued working at the same pace, partly out of commitment and partly out of disbelief that anything serious could be happening. The idea of illness did not align with his identity as a young, active performer at the height of his career. This disconnect between perception and reality delayed deeper investigation, allowing the condition to progress quietly in the background while professional obligations continued uninterrupted. Diagnosis and the collapse of certainty. After a series of medical evaluations, consultations, and neurological testing, Michael J. Fox received a diagnosis that would permanently alter the direction of his life: young-onset Parkinson's disease. The condition is a progressive neurological disorder that affects movement, coordination, and eventually many aspects of physical independence. At just 29 years old, he was confronted with information that was difficult to process, not only because of its severity but because of its implications. The prognosis made clear that the condition would worsen over time, with no known cure. In that moment, the future he had imagined, built on decades of acting, family life, and stability, became uncertain. He had recently married and become a father, making the diagnosis even more emotionally complex. Despite the overwhelming nature of the news, he chose to keep it private. Only a small circle of trusted individuals knew the truth. The decision was influenced by the realities of the entertainment industry, where illness could jeopardize employment, insurance, and professional viability. This marked the beginning of a long period in which public success and private struggle coexisted in constant tension. Years of secrecy behind public success. For nearly 7 years after his diagnosis, Michael J. Fox continued working in Hollywood while concealing his condition from the public. This required constant adaptation and careful management of symptoms. On set, he developed subtle strategies to mask tremors, including using props or adjusting positioning to reduce visibility. Medication schedules became central to his daily routine, carefully timed to ensure periods of stability during filming. However, the unpredictability of the disease meant that control was never absolute. Behind the scenes, he experienced increasing physical challenges, including stiffness, involuntary movements caused by medication, and growing fatigue. The psychological burden was equally significant, as maintaining secrecy required constant awareness of how he appeared in every interaction. Despite these difficulties, he continued to work at a high level, starring in Spin City, and maintaining a public image of professionalism and energy. The effort to separate his private condition from his public identity became exhausting over time. Eventually, external pressure, including media speculation, made continued secrecy unsustainable. The decision to go public emerged not from choice alone but from the narrowing of options available to him: public revelation and redefining strength. In 1998, Michael J. Fox publicly revealed his Parkinson's diagnosis in a televised interview, marking a pivotal moment in both his life and public perception. The announcement was not framed as a confession but as an explanation, delivered with calm honesty. What surprised many viewers was his tone. Rather than expressing despair, he spoke with perspective and gratitude. He described himself as, quote, lucky, a word that initially seemed unexpected given the circumstances. However, his reasoning reflected a broader philosophy. He had access to support, resources, and time to make meaningful contributions. The reaction was immediate and widespread. Public response included empathy, admiration, and recognition from individuals and families affected by the same condition. The disclosure also had professional consequences, as some industry opportunities became limited due to insurance and logistical concerns. Yet, it simultaneously opened a new path. By speaking openly, he shifted from being solely an entertainer to becoming a visible representative for a largely misunderstood disease. This transition redefined his public identity and set the foundation for his future work beyond acting: advocacy, foundation work, and a new purpose. Following his public announcement, Michael J. Fox gradually shifted his focus toward advocacy and medical research support. In 2000, he established a foundation dedicated to advancing Parkinson's research, aiming to accelerate scientific progress through funding and collaboration. The organization quickly grew into one of the most influential entities in its field, supporting studies focused on treatment improvement and potential cures. This work marked a new phase in his life, where impact was measured not by performance but by contribution to scientific progress. At the same time, his condition continued to progress, leading him to step back from full-time acting. His departure from Spin City symbolized this transition, reflecting a conscious decision to prioritize health and mission over traditional career advancement. Despite physical challenges, he remained active in public speaking, fundraising, and advocacy efforts. His presence helped reshape public understanding of Parkinson's disease, reducing stigma and increasing awareness. Through this work, he transformed personal adversity into a platform for broader social and medical engagement, demonstrating that influence can evolve beyond its original form, living with time, not against it. As the years have passed, Michael J. Fox's life has settled into a rhythm shaped less by ambition and more by adaptation. Parkinson's disease remains a constant presence, gradually changing how movement, speech, and physical independence function from day to day. Yet what stands out most is not the progression of the illness itself, but the way he has learned to coexist with it. Rather than framing each new limitation as a loss of ground, he has often approached life in terms of adjustment, redefining what is possible within shifting boundaries. Public appearances have become more selective, writing and advocacy more central, and family life more grounding than ever before. There is an acceptance in his later years that contrasts sharply with the urgency of his early career, as if time itself has been reinterpreted. Instead of racing against decline, he has focused on presence within it, choosing to invest energy where it can still create impact. This stage of his life is not defined by resolution or cure, but by continuity, an ongoing engagement with purpose, relationships, and contribution. In that sense, his story does not end with illness. It continues through the deliberate way he inhabits it. Continuing journey and enduring legacy. In the years that followed, Michael J. Fox continued to live with Parkinson's disease while maintaining an active role in advocacy and public life. His condition progressed, affecting mobility and daily function, but his engagement with research and awareness efforts remained consistent. What distinguishes his journey is not the absence of struggle but the sustained commitment to purpose despite it. He became a symbol of resilience not because he overcame the disease, but because he adapted to it while continuing to contribute meaningfully to others facing similar challenges. His foundation's work has supported significant advancements in neurological research, influencing the direction of studies worldwide. At the same time, his public presence helped shift cultural perceptions of chronic illness, emphasizing dignity, transparency, and agency. The arc of his life demonstrates a transformation from actor to advocate, from private struggle to public influence. Ultimately, his legacy is defined not only by the roles he played on screen, but by the impact he created beyond it, showing that a life altered by illness can still be one of purpose, contribution, and lasting meaning. Top of form, bottom of form,